What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Being 7'3" and jumping over Danny DeVito in the dunk contest. As always, I am your host, Zach Cronin, and today we are going to be talking about the 2024 NBA All-Star Weekend. More specifically, what I would do to fix, improve. I'm going to use the phrase make more entertaining. Before we get into anything, I want to thank everybody for all of the love and support that has been shown on my last two videos. All of the likes, all of the comments, and all of the subscribers. Y'all mean the world to me. I really do appreciate the love that has been shown to me over the last couple of weeks. With that said, this is going to be a bona fide yap session. I am going to be filling up my room with hot air in this one. There will not be any film study. I am working on some ideas. I'm sitting on some things, just analyzing players, seeing who I want to make a video on. But let's go ahead, get into it. Friday night. What would I do to change Friday night? I'm not so sure I would do anything. The Rising Stars game this season with the bracket and everything, the target scored a 40. I think that was a lot of fun. There were guys who looked like they were competing. I don't know if maybe I'm jaded and it's because they're young guys and they're trying to make a name for themselves in the NBA. But we saw Benedict Mathurin going at it with Jaden Ivey, and that just it seemed like a good competitive atmosphere. The one thing I think I would do is remove athletes from the All-Star celebrity game. I don't want to see Micah Parsons and CJ Stroud going up against one another. I want to see Ice Spice and Harry Styles playing one-on-one. That is what I'm looking for in the celebrity game. I would also like to be invited to the NBA celebrity game, even though that will probably never happen. Michael Parsons had 37 points. CJ Stroud had like 20, whatever. It's so obvious that those guys are going to dominate. If you do want to include some athletes, bring in some retired NBA players, some retired WNBA players. Yes, they will still be dominant, but it won't be such a divide. However, this is actually splitting hairs here because no one gives a shit about the celebrity All-Star game like that. We're on into Saturday. I don't have any issue with the skills contest as it is. The only thing is if any other player decides to exclusively use their offhand during the skills challenge, I want them sent to Vancouver. They will be gone. They will be out of the NBA. I'm looking at you, Anthony Edwards. Seriously, I think the skills contest is fine. Maybe even incorporate some WNBA players. I think the league did that a few years ago. I want to see more WNBA involvement. This leads right into my next point with the Sabrina versus Steph 3-point shootout. A spectacular event. Spectacular for basketball, spectacular as a viewer, spectacular for just every possible reason. It turned out better than anybody could have anticipated. The only thing that would have made that contest better was if Sabrina had pulled off the upset. And I'm going to put the word upset in quotes here, not to downplay her performance. But again, Steph is the consensus greatest shooter of all time. There is no unanimous GOAT in the NBA, but when it comes to shooting, it is Steph Curry. And the fact that Sabrina Ionescu only lost by 3 to him shooting from the NBA line, purposefully making it harder for herself. It was a spectacular viewing experience, and the audience thought so as well. 5.4 million people tuned in to watch these two athletes shoot 30 balls or whatever it was, 27 balls. That's preposterous. Maybe next year have Damian Lillard if he doesn't want to defend his 3-point title, maybe have him go up against Sabrina. Maybe bring in Caitlin Clark depending on how she looks from the perimeter in her first year as a WNBA player. I'm not changing anything about that. I think we keep the 3-point shootout as it is, which by the way is far and away the most entertaining event on Saturday night. The dunk contest needs to be retired as the premier showing for Saturday. It is mid, it is trash, it is ass more times than it is not. The 3-point shootout, you just look at it. We had a 4-way tie in the first round. One of those dudes was Karl Anthony Towns, 7 feet tall, scoring 26 points. Of course, he won the 3 point shootout as well. So I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to act like Cat was this dark horse or anything. And then have Dame come back and defend his crown in the second half. It's spectacular. I don't give a shit what anybody says. The 3 point shootout from start to finish is the most entertaining event on All Star Saturday night. Move that to the 10 p.m. slot. Also, make sure it starts on time. The NBA has this tremendous tardiness issue, and it's fucking annoying. I hate it. Start your shit on time. We're going to go ahead and talk about the dunk contest now. I am not someone who is of the belief that the dunk contest needs to be abolished or taken away, removed from All Star weekend, because it does still have its moment. When the dunk contest is on, it is on. However, over the last 10 years or so, how many of those instances have we had where outside of one or two dunks, the showing as itself has been spectacular? The most recent one I can think of, Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine. Beyond that, every year it's four guys who come in. There are a handful of mid dunks, a couple exceptional ones, but beyond that, the event just stinks. The judges don't have any consistency when it comes to scoring. We can look at Jaime Jaquez dunking over Shaquille O'Neal getting a 47, and then Jacob Toppin dunking over his brother and getting a 48. There is a flaw in the system. Bring in new judges, bring in younger judges that people are familiar with. They don't even have to be associated with the dunk contest in any way. Bring JJ Redick out, bring Richard Jefferson out, bring out, I don't know, you could have Shannon Sharp judge the fucking dunk contest for all I care. Also, figure out a way to incorporate the fan vote. Maybe 15, 20 seconds after the dunk, have the fan go to the NBA app and vote on it and factor that into the total as well. I think that fan engagement is huge for the dunk contest. If you go back and look at any dunk contest that was good, that was great, the fans were involved. And that has been lost for some reason. My theory is that a lot of the dunks that get done in the dunk contest, the technical dunks, the 360 windmills, the reverse double pumps, stuff like Jacob Toppin's reverse 360 through the legs, it hasn't lost its impressiveness, but people have been desensitized to these dunks because they are delivered in game, and they are sometimes delivered in game by high school kids. That is a testament to the increased athleticism of basketball players. That's not meant to diminish these dunks in any way, but the wow factor is gone. There are only a few dunks that have never been done before, and it's going to take a non NBA player to cook them up. Basketball players practice basketball, they don't practice dunking, especially a guy like Jaylen Brown, who is an all star caliber player because he is a good basketball player. The reverse where he took it off of that dude's shoulders, I forget who it was, where he jumped over that guy and passed it to himself. Spectacular dunk. And of course, Mac deserved to win the dunk contest, but I do think there should be a shift and a look into bringing new events into All Star Saturday night alongside the dunk contest. Work on a simulcast, an altcast, or something. As a basketball fan, as a basketball nerd, one thing that I think would be exciting is a 1v1 tournament with non All Star players. You could pick names out of a hat. You could have a bracket where you have guards on one side, bigs on the other, and just give me matchups like TJ McConnell and Patrick Beverly. Give me Bol Bol and Nick Claxton. Give me James Wiseman and Jonathan Kuminga. Like, give me these kinds of goofy ass matchups. I think that just the 1v1 aspect of that would make the players want to compete. Of course, you can be cynical and say, as a rebuttal to every idea I have, is, oh, well, the players are just not going to compete. Okay, threaten to leak their DMs or something if they lose. Give them $1,000 to go blow at any strip club they want. Incentivize it somehow. Another thing is a 3-on-3 tournament where you have team captains, can be all stars, can be non all stars, but they don't get to pick their teammates. They have to pick their teammates out of a hat. So you can have LeBron get like KD and Giannis as teammates, or you can have him get Sam Hauser and Duncan Robinson. Maybe look to do a 4-on-4 tournament with 2 NBA players and 2 WNBA players. Now, for the game itself, how you fix this, I don't know. I think that Adam Silver, his constant yearning for the All-Star game to be competitive is annoying to the players because they don't want to play hard in the All-Star game. This is the only lengthy break they have during the season. I can't say I fault them. I am not someone who is super into the All-Star game having to be competitive. I understand why they take the night off essentially. I understand why it's just a glorified pickup game. I think that Adam Silver should lean away from it being so serious and try to make it a bit sillier. What I would do is expand the All-Star game rosters to 15. I did a video on this. I think the league should do that anyway so we can avoid all of this discussion about snubs and just bring in the guys like Scotty Barnes and Trae Young who should have been All-Stars regardless, not have to wait for injuries. Bring the target score back. I think the target score was great. Also, get rid of this East-West bullshit. I know that the East won, but give me Luka and Jason Tatum on the same team. Give me Steph and Tyrese Halliburton. Roster expansion to 15. Bring back the target score. We'll make it 40 just for the sake of argument. Abolish the East versus West. That should have been dead 13 years ago. And at the end of each period, once the target score is reached, there is a short break and the respective rosters vote 3 people out of the game. At the end of the game, publicize all of the votes. Publicize the votes of the losing team and the winning team. I think that will incentivize players, and if it doesn't, it will create some drama for the second half of the season. I would love to see who LeBron votes off of his team. I would love to see if LeBron got voted off of his own team. Like, imagine if you're Team LeBron and you get voted off in the first period. You are the captain, and your teammate staged a mutiny. Who would Joel Embiid vote off? Would him and James Harden wind up on the same team and they both vote to get each other off the team? I think that would be highly entertaining. It's not serious, but I think that the All-Star game should no longer be serious. It's already a joke. It is the least respected All-Star. Actually, I don't think any All-Star game is taken seriously. Maybe the hockey All-Star game. I really don't know. But it's already a joke. I mean, for Christ's sake, dude, you had a fucking 211-point scoring game from the Eastern Conference this year. Adam Silver needs to ease off the seriousness and find a way to just make it more entertaining. I don't know if he's afraid to do stuff like this because he doesn't want to be seen as like the bad guy to the players. I saw a report that Adam Silver prides himself on player relationships. He knows that he knows that he's not supposed to give a fuck about the players. He is the commissioner of the NBA, which ultimately means that he works for the owners of the franchises, not for the players. That's why the players have a union that Adam Silver is not involved in because he does not have their best interests at heart. And I think he needs to stop trying to be buddy-buddy with all of these guys. Anyway, I'm going to close this video out for today. Thank you guys so very much for coming to hang out with me. Everything I'm associated with is down in the description box below. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Subscribe to this channel. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Drop a comment as well. It really helps out with the algorithm. If you do any of those 3 things, you will become my new favorite person. And with that, I will catch y'all in the next one.